Hey there, friend. It's good to see you. I don't often get to look at you, from your perspective. So I thought I'd give it a try. In any case, I'm here in this beautiful meadowland, and I thought I'd take you for a walk and tell you a little bit about what it's been like to go through 3 months of training at Maple. Because, baby, we're here. It's incredible. 3 months already. I've come and gone to the day. And what have I learned? What have I done? What has it been like? Where to begin? I don't know. The experience. It's been good. It's been really good. My days have consisted of largely a mix of, meditation and chanting in the mornings. The afternoons have been filled. The mornings, the work period has been filled with a mix of cooking vegan meals for 15 to 20 or so people, taking care of a 1-year-old, taking care of a 3 and a 5-year-old, and doing various construction building projects. So I've learned about painting. I've learned about flooring. I've dug holes, very exciting, and probably a lot more that I'm forgetting. But that's been the flow of responsibility. And in addition to this, there's been a number of events that have been pretty freaking life-changing. So I went through 2 3-day awakening periods, intensive meditation retreats, and 1 full week one in this 3 months. Those were very powerful, very good. I also, look at that, butterfly. Well, what else? I also went to a gathering, to the board meeting of the Center for World Philosophy and Religion, where I learned about something called cosmoerotic humanism. Basically, a group of people who are attempting to rewrite the superstructure of reality, to tell a new story of value that puts us back into contact with what is true and beautiful and sacred with ourselves, namely, and bring us into a global intimacy. And they wrote a book. They wrote actually like 30 plus books somehow. But they wrote one called 42 First Values and First Principles of the Universe. One of them being eros, another being intimacy. They make this argument very clearly that there is this inherent desire, this inherent attraction, this movement towards intimacy, towards connection at every level of reality in the universe. It's very important work. It's re-enchanting the world. It's making a clear argument for why it's not okay, for example, to, consume everyone's attention, especially young people. It lays out this framework for a moral world, a good way of living. That was one highlight. It was incredible to discover this. What else? The biggest thing most recently is I did a vision quest with Darren Silver. What a guy. I must tell you. Really, pause here to say this is my favorite sit stone, and we're gonna pause here. Great. Yeah. So what else? What else happened in these 3 months? There's the awakening, right? There's the Center for World Philosophy and Religion, Cosmoerotic Humanism, and there's the Vision Quest with Darren Silver. And more generally, opening up to this lineage of Grandfather Stalking Wolf, Tom Brown, and indigenous wisdom, the indigenous lineages. At the core, what I see at the core of this is this deep, deep, deep relationality with all of life. Another way to say that is there is a practice of expanded awareness, a practice of expanding awareness, of noticing, of coming into relationship and discovering the wonder, discovering this sacred relationship, this sacred dialogue that is always ongoing, that we are embedded within, that we are participating within. You know, the experience of being alive and being in conversation, in relationship with all beings around you, this huge ecosystem. And I've really just scratched the tip of the iceberg by doing a vision quest. Was like 2.5 days of prep, 4 nights of solo fasting, and then a day and a half of integration on the other end. So they call it like severance, threshold, and reintegration. And that was amazing and intense. And the sweat lodge, powerful, chanting. I recommend to all my friends, this is good fucking medicine. I recommend. At the same time, now that I am listening to the book Grandfather by Tom Brown, and I intend to read some other of his works, also having listened to the audiobook Black Elk Speaks, kind of investigating this indigenous wisdom, I'm like, wow, I don't know fucking anything. Like, I am barely scratching the tip of this iceberg. There's so much I don't know. I haven't been living in this way of direct relationship, of honest wonder, of respect and reverence in this highest regard. And now I can say, having gone on this quest, nature is a powerful teacher. Powerful. And I would say, obviously, essential to doing the work of healing and coming into right relationship with this world. So, 3 months at Maple. Where am I at? I can say clearly that I feel more confident and capable than ever before. And that's true across a wide variety of domains. Like I said, I've really enjoyed cooking. I really enjoy that. I could imagine doing that basically anywhere now. I love being with kids. It's amazing. I get to learn so much from them. You know, I get to learn. They're brilliant to like actually learn with, you know, learn language, learn about nature, learn about how we develop. That's been brilliant. I feel confident. Truthfully, I was scared of being with kids for a long time, especially babies. I was scared. Somehow I was like, oh, if I'm not good with them, then I'm bad, you know, and I don't know how to be with them. And I'm worried about the, you know, being viewed as bad. So now I'm paranoid and I feel, you know, that whole thing, that existed for some of my life. That's gone. Fuck it, I was gonna try to do this this review a little more like sensible, but what feels good right now is just speaking and being outside. So that's what we're doing. But your time's precious, so what can I share? A bird just flew by. It's wonderful. One thing I'm really grateful for. I'll just share what I'm grateful for. I got to witness my relationship with trust and authority over these 3 months. And this is one reason why I recommend maple or just this monastic style to people. It's not for everyone, obviously, but you do live within this very tight feedback loop. And so you get to face things and experience things, and you get called out when you do something wrong, or you make a mistake, or you don't uphold a responsibility, and you have to face what comes up there. And you're living with people that you wouldn't have chosen to live with, and so they do things that annoy you, and you face what comes up there. And you just keep facing all these things that come up, all this frustration, this anger, this distrust, this shame. It all comes up, this fear. And every single day, you begin and end with meditation, and you maintain this practice of mindfulness to the best of your ability constantly. And so you're training all the time, but every day you get feedback, every day you're in relationship with all these people, every day you're becoming someone who fulfills your responsibilities, and every day you get to reflect on how it went. And so for me, I noticed one of these retreats, one of these awakening periods, how I felt this sense of distrust around authority figures here. And it felt like this. It felt like, you know what? He doesn't trust me to do this. They don't trust me to do this. They don't think I'm in my practice. They don't think I can handle this. Yeah, they don't trust me. And there's this this kind of defensiveness, this resistance, this anger that came up. And I noticed it, and I was like, oh, that's a thing. Okay. What if I responded to that with love? And so I began to respond with, I trust you. Anytime this came up, I would notice it and I'd be like, oh, actually, I do trust you. I trust you. And that I trust you is me to them, sure, but also it is I trust you. And from up here, I trust you. So it's this whole circle, whole universe, I trust you. Bang. And with that, there is more trust in my life. And with that, there is more ease and happiness and beauty. So I would say 3 months at Maple, developing proficiency in hands-on skills, childcare, cooking, learning rapidly about myself, noticing these mental patterns, learning how to come into more whole, more fullness, more positive relationship with myself and with others, coming into more aliveness, coming into clarity, coming into power. This is my experience of being at Maple for 3 months. There's more I could say. I've been reading a lot. It's been great. We get to study a lot. I've been studying the 10 stages. I've studied several sutras, the 10 stages of enlightenment, that is. And I'll just speak a little to that. When I came in, I don't know what my relationship was exactly. Probably doubt, doubt and skepticism. First round, whether it's possible and real, and then can I do it? That was down there. Now, I've come to a place where I've been asked to study this, and we engage with this text frequently, and I'm responsible for learning a portion of it. And so there's this invitation into a world where not only is enlightenment real and impossible, but there is actually a clear teaching laying out the entire path. The qualities, the features, the challenges along the way. And as a group, we're studying that with the goal of being able to passionately describe the 10 stages, striving wholeheartedly to realize them and to understand them as a path of education for guiding cybergores, for guiding this global mind composed of humans and our technology. So that's been rich. And there's been other good books along the way. I've been reading some of Robert Baez's Ways or Seeing That Frees. Been reading The Buddha and His Dhamma by Ambedkar. What else has been good? Hyperion, The Fall of Hyperion. Another thing about AI in the future. Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. Banging on. Very good stuff. But my point here, circle back. For 3 months, I've been in a place where I am in more intentional relationship with the world than ever. I began tracking what I engage with, and I don't have time to waste on things I don't care about. So this is maybe one thing to say, for the past 3 months, I have not been bored. Ever. My boredom is gone because I have a practice. I have a goal. And this is something I can do constantly. I must do constantly. It took me a while to reach a place that felt like this, this clear about it. There was sort of a burden aspect for some time. But through these months, it's been a shift into this opportunity lens, into this offering lens of I can live in a way where my life is a prayer. I can give my life to something beautiful and good and bigger than myself, and I can do this at the level of granularity of a single breath. Every single fucking breath can be meaningful. Every single breath, every single thought, every action can be this prayer. That's something I never would have considered even a year ago. So, I have a long ways to go. And maybe I will try to speak more about what this has been like. But I don't want to make this video go on too much longer. Great. Anything I've missed? I've been writing. It's felt good. I want to write more. In particular, again, on this note of relationships, I want to find a couple people to engage in long-form, long-term editing with me. I feel pretty much done with writing short blog posts and other content, just pumping it out into this screaming abyss, this void, this competitive landscape. When there's a piece that feels critical to communicate, I will do that, For example, I want to share the components of a vision for a culturally dynamic, robust, and resilient Western Mass. This may be a model that could be applied elsewhere. I'm applying it to Western Mass. So that's a goal for this month. But generally speaking, I want to move towards offering something of substance. And I see now that takes time and support. For me to do this, for me to follow through with my 2 hours of daily free time, 6 days a week, I need to be in relationship with people who will help guide me. I can't do it by myself. So there's that. And if you are someone who's excited by the idea of reading the work that is closest to my heart, it is only from here, this is the vision of my heart, let me know. I would be very appreciative to have your support. What else? Yeah. There's more. There's always more. But for now, I'll say this. I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful to all my relations. Mitakwe Owasan. I'm grateful to all the teachers of my life. I'm grateful to my parents. I'm grateful for this earth holding me up, for the sun on this day. And if you watched any of this, and if you made it here, I'm grateful to you for tuning in with me. Let me know what you're up to. It's been good. All right. Much love, my friend. Until next time. Believe and wonder. What is it that you choose? What is it that you choose to do? What is it that you choose to be? I say, let's be fucking friends and make a culture that is worth passing on.